How is everybody doing this week? I know I'm a couple days late. My apologies. I'm on vacation right now, and I was hoping I was going to be able to watch on Wednesday night, but it just didn't happen. So here we are, Friday night, finally getting the episode watched and getting our video up. Might be in the same situation again next week. Hopefully, I can let you all know beforehand. But enough about my life. Let's get into tonight's episode. So we finally get to the end of our weddings. We still had two weddings left, even though this is episode 3. And the weddings and the wedding receptions, they took up all of our episode tonight. We also, at the end of the episode, got a pretty large season preview, which I definitely want to talk about for at least one of the couples. So, as always, we go through each couple one at a time. And let's start with Rachel and Jose. This was a couple that, from the preliminary stuff we had seen, particularly about Jose, I was very much a no for. I had no confidence in them. I didn't have much faith in them making it. And I will admit that I do feel better about this couple after their wedding, but still not even close to being able to say that I think this is a couple that is going to make it. You know, the first thing that stuck out to me was something about Rachel, and that was that she is only 6 months out of a major relationship where she thought that it was the one. And you know, we've seen in past seasons that being so close out of a major relationship can hinder the marriage, and it just raises a little bit of a concern for me that I didn't previously have. I I got to admit, like, before we actually got to the wedding, was kind of hoping one of them was going to just bail out of the wedding, like just save us the torment of going through this couple. But honestly, they did seem much better than what I was expecting. Uh, Once we started to see some of Jose's insecurities, he really just started to seem like just a more likable, more of a person that we could actually connect with, which I definitely don't think that we saw previously in like the matchmaking specials and everything leading up to tonight. I really liked that side of Jose. Gave me a little bit of hope that they might be able to make it, but also his insecurities start to raise other issues. You know, he set the expectations so high, and on top of that, he's got these insecurities where they could lead him to spiral out of the relationship. Um, the wedding was going quite well until Jose hit time to do his vows and just felt like he was speed reading through them. Like, I mean, I could do these videos condensed down to 1 minute, but they'd be extremely monotone and no one would really have anything connect with at all whatsoever. And that's really how I felt listening to those vows. Like, maybe they were paying for the wedding by the minute, so he had to get through those vows right now. Uh, it also seemed like Jose really wanted to hear that Rachel found him attractive. It seemed like an insecurity for him. And we did hear Rachel say that in one of her little diary sessions, but I don't think we actually heard her say that to Jose. And that goes back to his insecurities, where I feel like if Rachel had just voiced that to Jose, it would have gone a long way to boost his confidence and further improve that marriage. One thing I didn't like was when Rachel and Jose were first talking, and then Jose immediately asks her, "Hey, when's your lease up?" It just was a very awkward question. Like, I know what he's going for. Like, I just don't think you have to phrase that question that way. All right, which let's jump to. I think I lost my notes for Brett and Ryan. Let's jump back and talk about them. I will do my best to remember. I was relying on these notes, everybody. I was really relying on them, and now I don't have them. One thing I really appreciate about Brett and Ryan, and I've said this previously, is that they both seem like they really want this. They were so happy in that initial wedding, and to see just how nervous Ryan was in the ceremony just goes to show like how much this meant to him, and just the pressure that he's putting on himself to have this succeed. I hope that that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they are both want this so badly. From Brett's side of things, we did start to see, I don't even know if I'd call them red flags, just some incompatibilities pop up, like the two step when they went to dance, their first dance. That no, just why? Like, do a normal dance. You don't know if the other person is going to be into that. You don't know. Like, even go back to Johnny and Bao, uh, when Johnny asked, like, "Hey, it would be important for me to have a tea ceremony. Do you think you're okay with that?" He asked. He didn't just say, "Hey, we're having a tea ceremony. If you don't like that, well, tough luck." He asked and wanted her to be part of that. While Ryan, he's just pushed this two step onto um, onto Brett for their first dance, when they could have just had a normal dance and then maybe tried to do a fun two step later. Like, I think that she would have been more understanding if it wasn't their first dance, and if it just didn't have that same pressure on it. We also had one little clip about like talking about hunting. It seemed like that wasn't something Brett was very into, that Ryan is. And then the whole conversation about, what's your type. I just hate seeing that conversation. I honestly just hate the conversation in general. I think it's silly, for one thing, for anyone to just have one specific type. Like, nope, going for someone who looks exactly like this, and if they don't, not interested. There's so much more to a person than that. There's so much more to a relationship than that, and maybe that is one reason why some of these people have had trouble finding relationships, have had trouble finding their one, because they're only looking in one category, when we're talking about people, there are a lot more categories than just one. All right, let's move on from Brett and Ryan. Last thing to say about them is I still have some positivity there. I think that they're an okay match. I left them as a maybe when I first was going over the couples. I'm going to leave them as a maybe. Some good things, some bad things there. Overall, I think they're just a couple. We're just going to have to wait and see what develops with them. All right, now I want to jump over to Michaela and Zach. I don't really want to talk too much about what they did this episode. They seem wonderful this episode. When the episode ended, they were still my favorite couple. They just seemed very compatible, seemed very good together. The family stuff seemed great, the friend stuff seemed great. And then we get to that preview, and that preview was not great for Zach and Michaela. Like, we didn't get the whole story there, but like from what I could sort of piece together, there seems like there is some trust issues going on there, that Zach is maybe possibly lying to Michaela about something, which I did not like, because I was just loving this couple so much. And then we looked like half of the season preview was them fighting. I really wanted them to be the happy, successful couple of this season, and not to be the Chris and Paige. But if there's lying, cheating going on, it can end a relationship very quickly. All right, let's jump back over to another couple, Mirla and Gil. Mirla's climbing up the list of my least favorite people this season, and my opinion of her did not change much this episode. Um, you know, everything seems like they're just incompatible. He lives a very frugal life. She lives a more, let's just call it frivolous life. She likes to have her things. She likes to pamper herself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it just feels like those two lifestyles are not going to mesh. You look at Gil, it looks like he's already concerned about being able to accommodate Mirla's lifestyle. And it's unfortunate because, in my opinion, they both should be able to keep their lifestyles. If she wants to spend money on, her purses and shoes, and she has money to spend on that, that's fine. I just don't think the expectation should be that Gil needs to bend over backwards or Mirla needs to bend over backwards to accommodate the other person lifestyle wise. And it's already getting the feel like that is going to be the expectation. One little thing I noticed here was, has Gil ever been to a wedding? Everyone knows that clinking glasses is going to mean a kiss. It's like he had no clue what clinking glasses are. Like, isn't he even in his 30s? Like, he attended like just one wedding? Just once. Just invited to a wedding just once. Maybe not, because he seemed quite confused about what the clinking glasses were. And then he got a little bit rejected on the kiss once again. Mirla seems to think that them not sharing a kiss is totally fine, but it just feels weird to me. We're not talking about a makeout session, just a little peck, just one little smooch. That's it. Just like, you're married to this person. One kiss. And then in the preview, I kind of got the impression that we're going to go the whole honeymoon without them kissing. Could be very awkward and could be a negative for this relationship, or long term could be something that does not matter at all whatsoever. All right, let's jump over to our final couple, and that is Bao and Johnny. After seeing the Michaela and Zach preview, I might have to start thinking that Bao and Johnny are my new favorite couple. They just seem like they're kind of gelling, they're kind of meshing, and I think that comfort level for Bao of knowing Johnny, and she even admitted that she has had a crush on him, is really going to help her open up, which I think is going to be a slow process and something Johnny is already worried about. Johnny really focused on the physical touch, physical touch, physical touch. And I think that if he puts too much pressure on that, it could backfire on him. Whereas if it's something that he just lets develop and grow and nurtures himself, it just will not be an issue long term. He's, from what we're hearing, he's not asking to, for an ass slap every time she walks by. Just a casual touch on the arm, a hand on the back, hand on the shoulder, just reassurance that the person's there. Maybe sleeping, he wants to cuddle a little bit, and maybe that will be the area that Bao is going to struggle with. The whole scene where Johnny's about to say, like, hey, I don't need my body pillow anymore now because I have you, and Bao just jumped in. She's like, that's great. Here, let's put up this pillow barrier. You can just keep on cuddling your pillow. That's so awesome. Kind of made me laugh a little bit. Just a cute little moment. All right, everybody. I think that's where I'm going to wrap things up for this week. Thankfully, 3 episodes in, we're finally done the weddings. Let's move on. Let's get into these actual relationships. Let's get into all the love and all the drama that this season has to in store for us. And I'm very much looking forward to it. If you're watching this far, I'm probably going to be late on my video again next week. I think I said that at the start, but hope that you all forgive me. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.